students' health, wellness, cooking, culinary, gardening programs, and tower garden installations in not only in America, in the United States, but in many other countries as well. So how did it come to his mind? So nowadays, if we consider the youngsters, we all use mainly the in the food stores, we consume canned products. And in many cases, the students are not aware where do the cans come from, or where do the food in the can come from. So and also he observed that canned food, and of course all these issues related to the environment, to uh, food non-safety and others of food insecurity, they are leading to poor school performance and obesity among the students, and of course they are uh, being not creative, and their lack of knowledge in different fields. So he started changing this mindset, and gradually he came up with a great curriculum. Even if you go, you can just find sample of their curriculum and what they are doing through their website. And nowadays, so they are changing the concept, For example, tower to table to tummy. So tower to table to tummy, this is a great project where the students start growing the food themselves and start using these vegetables and salads in order to make their own food, and how they are taking care of their wellness, of their health, and how they are changing as not only the students, but also the environmental activists and also food growers. So and the programs that they introduced, they address food insecurity, workforce development, food access, pedagogy, professional development, classroom experience, and inspire healthy living. And more than that, they are already received great acclaims, not only in the United States, but also in other countries. So, and of course, he came up with a whole school curriculum that align the art of science and growing vegetables with daily academic instruction in all these subjects. And this project-based and standard-aligned learning experience helps students learn critical thinking and problem solving as they explore, discover, and create their own ecosystem starting from their garden. So, and here are just some of the activities that you can use, and let me also share some of the okay. So, for example, now let me just play this video, and you'll be able to see how these blogs are changing.
Came on in your cornflakes next, so just watch out for that. I have been a teacher of English for many years, since I had hair and before then, about 15 years now. I've been working with the environment, sustainability for the last 6, and concentrating on it as my main focus for the last 2 years with renewable English. And also, I've also worked with various publishers on all sorts of different ideas. So thank you so much for inviting me. Green ELT is an honor and a pleasure to be here. And I love all of this. I love the new branding, the new logo. It's fantastic. And I also love the idea of action, something I'm very much into, I guess, action. Just this morning, in fact, I was out with my daughter. We were walking the dog. My daughter's really into litter picking and anti-plastic. As you can see, she's a member against plastic there. And we decided to invent a new kind of litter pick where we sang our favourite song and at the same time we were picking up cigarette butts. We picked up over 100 cigarette butts in the space of the other side from the greatest show. But anyway, action what we love. But today, what we're going to quickly talk about, I don't want to keep you for too long, so I'd love to go off for some breakout rooms shortly. But we're going to talk about some objections that we get as ELT teachers from our co-workers, from our students, from parents, from whomever. And of course, some solutions. And you can see there, I used hilarious joke using chemistry, solution. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of bad jokes, I'm afraid. So let's very quickly look at some objections, and then we're going to look at some different green routines and some different green projects that we can do as well. But there's so many different things that I want to hear from you and learn from you about what you would do and how you might do it, the objections that you have, the issues you come against as well. And there is a handout that I'll put in the chat in a moment. But anyway, for me, the biggest two objections that I ever get are these two. I don't have any time and I'm not an expert. There are other ones like it's all doom and gloom, or who am I to tell a student what to do, or my students aren't interested in that. If anyone ever says my students aren't interested in the environment, ask them how many of their students are interested in mixed conditionals. Ask them how many of their students are interested in the present perfect. Not that many, but it is our job to make them interested. And the more passion you have, the better it will be. Another weird thing about me is I love flags. And in my early teaching career, all of my classes involved flags. So yeah, from about, there's probably quite a few sort of 18, 19, 20 to 25-year-olds out there with a weird array of flag knowledge that maybe most learners don't have. But again, no time, I'm not an expert. So let's look at some ideas for these different things. We're going to start with some green routine. What is a green routine? A green routine for me is when you do something on a regular basis. You know, when you don't have the time to spend months on figuring out how you're going to do this climate change issue, how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that, how you're going to do the other. Oh, we don't have time to set up all these projects. I can't go off and learn all this stuff before I come back and teach my students. So I like to have green routines. And we're going to go through those in just a moment. But before we do that, I completely forgot to mention, can't believe I forgot to mention, for me, the most important thing of all, the first step of all steps, is get a plant in your classroom. For me, this is the number one part of being a green teacher. A green teacher is to get a plant in your classroom. There are so many ideas.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Can you hear me? Okay, good. So this is basically, yeah, what I really wanted to share with you. And of course, like, yeah, I'll be sharing these links with you so you can just go there, explore. There are so great number of activities and songs. Yeah, the songs, I think the songs are the best way to bring, yeah, some kind of community sense into your classroom. And you can also find like some wonderful songs related to the environment and start singing them in your class. And maybe when you go outside to do litter picking, it can be another way how to bring the sense of community into your classroom. And also just, yeah, to boost your students activism through teaching green English, yeah, and also just bringing green English language teaching into your classroom. So let us open the floor to questions and answers. And so please, well, I welcome your questions. And if you have any uh, questions, you can put in the chat box or unmute yourself. Yes, and of course, yeah, I'll be happy to respond to your questions. Yeah, these are actually just some resources that I found really useful, and I use some of materials in my teaching practice, and I found them really interesting both for my students and for myself, because as teachers we don't need to teach a language, but we need to teach a child as a whole. Yes, so later on we'll be happy to see how our kids are growing as activists, as successful people, and also we are investing knowledge into our future. So please put your questions in the chat box, and I'll be happy to respond to your questions. So at least organizing these kind of eco camps and some extracurricular activities, starting in your classroom, yeah, bringing green routines as in the video it was shared, it will, yeah, you will see how it changes, yeah, your classroom uh, buzz, and also your students